So, Leanne, welcome to the show. It's amazing. It's a perfect way to finish an epic evening with someone as epic as you. You know what I mean?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect, perfect. So, tell me, how are you today? How are things?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. I'm currently in LA visiting some friends, so
Fantastic.
I'm waking up to sunshine and palm trees. It's absolutely fantastic.
I love it. I love it. That's really definitely cool. All right, so let's jump to the interview now. Let's dig in here.
Sure.
So let's go back in time a little bit here and tell me how your acting career started.
Yeah, so it was an interesting path that I went down. So I started as a dancer when I was 4 or 5 years old. I
Oh,
started in dance and then I got into modeling. And then everyone gets that judgment, I guess, from their parents where they say,
yeah.
performing and art isn't a real job. So
Mm.
when it came to university time, I was still dancing. I was touring with a dance group at that time. I did up to my advanced two in RAD ballet. So I went actually really high. It's probably the highest you can do in the syllabus before going professional. And I was also juggling that as well as a marketing degree. So
Oh,
I did a marketing degree. And in my last 2 years of marketing, it's this interesting balance where I was doing a lot of dance, entered university, and then it kind of swapped where I was more focused on the university and less on dance. And over those last 2 years, by the time I graduated, honor student, type A, like did really, really well. I really, really missed performing. I missed being on a stage. And
absolutely.
I had done a tour actually, and it was actually a little boy in Ukraine that changed my life. I was touring, I was with a dance group, and I was a soloist at that time.
Mm.
And we were doing a free show that evening, and it was in a more low income, poor neighborhood. So it was free for people to come. So of course it was packed and it was outdoors and the lights were shining so brightly on my face that when I finished my solo, I turned to run off the stage and go change because it was super quick. And I almost bulldozed this little kid. And he was standing there. He had gone out to the field and he had picked flowers for me and he was holding them up to me. And then I left the stage. And it was that evening that I realized how much you can affect someone's life with art. And so
Wow.
from that moment, I said, you know what? Screw it. I've graduated university. I'm going to give it a real solid shot. I moved to Toronto, Ontario. Um, I I was there for well, I've been there for like 8, 9 years now. So originally from Saskatchewan, so I'm a prairie girl originally. I picked up, moved from the prairies after doing the dance tour, went to Toronto and cut to where we are today, where I've now done acting for 7, 8 years.
Mm.
I did dance for a little bit, got more into acting that way. And then I now have applied for my O1B visa and I'm going to be moving to LA soon.
That's magical. I love it.
That's my story up to this
I
date and
love
how I
it.
got started.
That's amazing. I love it. You
Thank
know,
you.
it really, yeah, it's perfect for a film. Hear me on that. It's perfect for a film.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just those little things, right? Like it wasn't the glitz, the glam, the glory. It was honestly this little boy that had come to a free show that just made me see how much you can really affect someone with your art, even if someone says, oh, that's not a real job. I mean, if you don't love what you do, then why are you doing it?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We really need to thank that little boy.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I love it. Now, yeah. Moving, yeah, like moving up here, like how you prepare a character. Now I understand, of course, that it depends on the role, but like, what are usually your first, like, how you approach into this process of creating a character?
Um, well, it depends on what it is. So I've worked on episodic, so TV, I've worked in film, and I've done stage as well. So, each of them are their own medium, even if they're under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
And I always love to read the full story first. So even if it's a feature film, if it's an episodic, I will do my research. So I like to either read the whole feature film, read the whole play, or do research if say it's a TV series that's been running for a long time or they have previous episodes. I like to get a feel for the tone. I then read the scenes and the scripts and my auditions, if that's the stage that it's at, and try to get as much information as I can from there. Sometimes it comes in different ways, whether it's, a character's walk, their voice, their movement. I studied in New York for a little while, and one exercise that I absolutely loved is just go and sit on the subway, and eventually your character will get on, and just watch. Just watch people. Just like watch their mannerisms, watch what they're doing. And I really, really do love people watching. So I absolutely love that. And I would just sit on the subway and I would ride from one end to the next until I found my character reading my play. And so that's kind of how I prepare, as each character is a little bit different. But I like to do my research first. Then I like to prep through different mannerisms, costume, makeup, walks, things like that after I memorize everything.
That's epic. I love it. That's
Thank
really
you.
cool. And what has been either the funniest or worst audition you ever had?
Oh my God. Okay. I feel like I shouldn't even say this one. This casting director's gonna find it and be like, yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
So I'd actually just moved to Toronto. Um, I came from more of a dance background. So being on stage with dance, you communicate with your body, not necessarily your voice or on camera. And working on stage is very different than working on camera. It's just a whole other medium that you have to learn the tricks of the trade, really. And I had just moved to Toronto, having a marketing degree. I was really good at networking, always have been, just talking to people, getting a conversation started. And I met this one person I'll leave names out of it.
Yeah.
I met this other actor.
Yeah, it's okay.
In a class, and we got chatting, and I was non-union at that time because I fresh, hadn't been there for a while. I had only started doing classes. I was very, very rusty. And he said, oh, well, I know so-and-so, you should I'll throw your name in for the ring and we'll get you doing some work. And I was like, amazing. So sure enough, this guy got me an audition for this non-union role, and I froze. I was so scared because it was an official room. It wasn't a classroom. It wasn't just a workshop. It wasn't whatever. So I walked in, they called my name. I didn't really know the process. I got really, really nervous. I sat down. I didn't understand my angles. I just completely blanked. It was terrible. I felt so bad. I left the room and I cried. I just left the office, went around the corner, and I cried because I was like, oh my God, someone went on a limb for me. Totally screwed up.
Yeah.
So yeah, c'est la vie. But I learned my lesson and I started training. I did 2 more years of training before I even approached agencies after that.
There you go. I mean, and look at you now, starting from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, #drag.
I love it. That is amazing. And tell me, let's say that one day I call you and I tell you that I want to become an actor. Now, I don't know anything about acting. Probably the only role that I ever had was back in high school. One line, I screw it up. So, what advice would you give to me or to someone who doesn't know anything about acting but wants to start this journey?
So the first question I would ask is, why do you want to start the journey? Why do you want to act? Because there are so many times where you are going to fall flat on your face. That audition, for example, I could have given up right then and there, right? I was so distraught. I thought I had ruined myself. Everyone in the city was going to know how I screwed up this one non-union audition.
Totally.
So the first question I would ask is why do you want to do it? And I would tell them to hold on to that. Why do you do this? Every time you're feeling low or down or discouraged or not enough or need that inner strength, find it and remember what that is, because you're really going to need it no matter what stage you're at. It doesn't matter whether you're just beginning or you are, at the height of your career. You can always improve in this medium, I find. So that would be my first question. And my advice would be if you really, really love this and this is what you want to do and this is your passion, then don't ever give up.
Reach.
Yeah,
I promise.
honestly.
I love it. I love it. I mean, I promise that if I become an actor, once I win an Oscar for Best Actor, I'll be including you in my thank you speech.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love it.
Ditto.
I love it. I love it. And tell me, like, let's say one day Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus, you name it, they come to you and they tell you, we want to make this film in which goes all of the characters you have played at the moment will gather to celebrate your birthday. Tell me, what would be the name of the film?
Oh my God. All the characters coming together to celebrate my birthday be called clusterfuck.
Okay.
Excuse the language.
No, it's okay.
No, but probably that because I've played such a mishmash of characters and they would all be so different at a birthday party. It would actually just be like a clusterfuck, but in a good way.
I love it. And what genre would it be?
Oh, probably a dramedy. Most likely a dramedy.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I like it. Now, if you had to choose if you had to choose one of your characters to go out with, have some fun, which character would you choose?
Okay, so I mean, there's lots of characters that I've done, whether it was in class, like prep work, or on set. So if it was classwork, I did Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, which obviously Liz Taylor did. That was super fun. I would definitely go out as her.
Okay.
I guess reason why is if you know Liz Taylor and her career, the multiple husbands that she had. There was when she was in Italy and she was filming Cleopatra. There was all these rumors that she was sleeping with her co-star, and she really didn't care what everyone else was thinking. She's like, you know what? If they want a story, let's give them a story. So she went down like Champs-Élysées and she went and had like the biggest shopping spree. She took her co-star and they had a night out of the town just to give them a story because she really didn't care. So I love that attitude of just doing what you want, and it doesn't matter what other people say as long as you're having a good time and you're happy. That's what matters.
I love it. Yes, yes, I do. I couldn't agree more on that. And if you had to describe your whole career on a drink, now you could choose one that it's already been made, or you can create your own.
A drink. Okay. I'm gonna say a paper plane. One, I love that cocktail, and two, so paper plane has bourbon, lemon juice, Amaro Nonino. It has to be on Nonino. When people do it with a different Amaro, it doesn't work. And Campari, and it's all equal parts. Or sorry, Campari or Aperol. It's all equal parts, but it's like a citrusy flavor. I would choose that drink because the bourbon would represent the, strong, sometimes hard to take,
Okay.
a little bit of the difficult times, but with the Nonino, it's a little spicy, has a little bit of a cinnamon flavor. So during the times where, I was, I guess, the height of when I was booking things, or if I was booking something that would be like the cinnamon flavor, it's like hot and spicy, things are going, things are moving, and the lemon and the Aperol because it has a little bit of a sweet finish. So all the successes that I've had, the good, the bad, the ugly kind of drink. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how would you call it? Let's say if I go to a bar and I want to have your drink, how do I call it?
Oh, like not the official name?
Not the official name, yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. What would we call it? I would have to say You know what? I would just go with my middle name. I want the Noelle. That's my middle name.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love it. And like my last question here is like, what motivates you? You know, we all have those days that we just want to quit. You know, and I find it very interesting because like sometimes things are okay. You know, nothing bad is happening, but we suddenly get into this idea that we're horrible, that we have wasted our time, that what are we doing? I mean, and you start to compare with others, and you're like, what the hell, you know, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, what gets you out of those toxic thoughts, and so you can continue on this journey that you have been creating for so many years now?
It depends on how I'm feeling. I find that there's different approaches you can do depending on what your mood is or what I do. So,
Yeah.
you know, depending on where I'm at or what's really bothering me, having a really strong support system makes all the difference. So, people that want to see you succeed, people that uplift you, even if it has nothing to do with the work. You know, having those really close friends that you can call and say, hey, I'm having like a really shitty day. Can we just, can we go grab a coffee? Do you want to go for a walk? And having that other person that is championing for you. Like you need your cheerleaders, those friends that no matter what, they will support you. Um, I have a dog. I love her to death. I can't tell you how many times she is the thing that has gotten me out of bed sometimes. Because she's like, I have to go for a walk. Like, get out of bed.
Yeah,
And
totally.
then once you get out of bed and you actually start going for a walk, you actually do feel better. Um, and yeah, support system and just having, you know, someone else to care for so that, like an animal, so that you don't kind of go down that spiral of being hard on yourself, and it kind of takes you out of that state because you have a different responsibility or you have something else to go and do, and someone else is dependent on you in some capacity that can really give back to you as a person, being like, well, you know what, even if I'm feeling really bad about my career or about where I am, this person or this, you know, animal loves
Yeah.
me no matter what.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know perfectly what you mean. Yeah, that's true. It's so interesting how, like, especially like with like, yeah, like with dogs in this case, the fact that, I mean, they don't talk,
They
but
don't have to.
yeah, but
They
they understand
don't,
you
like,
perfectly. Yeah, they understand you perfectly.
100%.
Yeah, it's I
Yeah.
find that so amazing. The fact that they know exactly when you're sad, they know exactly what to do when you feel sad or anything, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, it gets into a point in which you stop seeing them as pets. You see them as kind of your personal, like on your personal circle, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I know what you
We
mean.
don't deserve them. That's my stance. Like, we
Yeah,
do not deserve dogs.
yeah, yeah. We only deserve cats. I'm just kidding.
No, not a cat person.
No. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and you know, at the end of the day, I do think. I mean, as we were saying, like before we started, we all gonna have those days, you know. But I do think that it's up to you to move on to this, because if you let those toxic thoughts hit you, once you realize it's been already 4 or 5 hours and you're still on the same cloud, not doing anything, just
Yeah.
wasting precious time on something meaningless. And I and 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 we, I mean, we all have those moments, but I do think that you need to recover from them quick so you can continue. You know.
Yeah, you just have to put things in perspective, you know. Even just if you're feeling really bad, like sometimes just going out for a walk and being in nature for myself even helps as well. It
Absolutely.
just to clear your head and refocus your energy on something else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more of what you're saying here. I mean, Leanne, your career is as amazing. I love it. It's super cool. I mean, you have accomplished so
Thank
many
you.
cool things. And the fact that you made this, yeah, the fact that it took one kid to, poof, basically do like a whole 360 career change. That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I also want to thank those who are watching this episode. Thank you so much. If you are either watching this on YouTube, I mean, the video is over. But before you go, make sure to go follow Leanne on her social media, like right now. I mean, let's make her viral. Hashtag Team Leanne. She's amazing. She's awesome. Also, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, don't worry. The link will be in the description as well. So you can go follow her. And again, Leanne, thank you so much Have an incredible rest of the evening, an incredible rest of the week as well. Keep inspiring
Yes.
because you are doing it, and I'm super sure that there are thousands, hundreds, or not thousands of people who really feel inspiring what you do. And yeah, keep doing it because it's amazing.
Thank you so much, Daniel. I really appreciate it, and thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. So I'll see you in the next one.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So
Thank you.